My name is Sarah Bennett. I'm 35 years old. I never thought my own sister would hurt me so badly at Mom's birthday party. It was her 65th birthday, a special day we celebrated at the nice restaurant downtown in Seattle. I brought a beautiful necklace I made myself using silver and blue stones. I spent weeks making it perfect because Mom loves jewelry. Everyone was laughing and talking. My aunts were there. My uncles too. Even our neighbor Mrs. Kim came. I was showing Mom the necklace when everything changed. My sister Emma is 3 years younger than me. She stood up and pointed at me. Her voice was loud and mean. "Sarah, you make everything harder for us," Emma said. Her eyes looked angry. She didn't even look at the pretty necklace. "We don't want you here anymore." Those words felt like someone hit me. Dad was sitting next to Mom. He just smiled and drank his juice like Emma said something nice about the weather. Mom's eyes got big but she didn't say anything. She just looked at her plate. Mrs. Kim stopped eating. My Aunt Linda stopped talking. Everyone got very quiet. They all looked at me and then looked away. My face felt hot but I didn't cry. I smiled even though I felt sad inside. I picked up my glass and took a drink. The juice tasted bitter just like how I felt. Nobody said Emma was wrong. Not Dad. Not Mom. Not anyone at that table. The air felt heavy like before a big storm. Put my glass down. I stood up slowly. I walked away from the table. My steps were calm and steady. I didn't run. I didn't cry. They didn't deserve to see me sad. I went to my car and drove to the apartment I still had across town. I never gave it up even though I spent most nights at their house helping them. I packed one big bag with my clothes and my important papers. The streets were empty and quiet as I drove away that night. My phone sat on the passenger seat. It was silent. I didn't call anyone. I didn't text anyone. I just drove and thought about what just happened. From that moment I promised myself something important. I would never let them treat me this way again. Never. But what about them? What happens when the car stops working? When the phone gets turned off? When nobody pays for the food or the lights? Will they still think it's easy to live without me? What time is it where you live? What city are you watching from? Write a comment below. I want to know how many people understand what I'm going through. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. In the next part I stop paying for everything. Let's talk about what real boundaries mean. I woke up the next morning in my old apartment. The heater made a soft humming sound. That was the only noise. My phone was on the table next to my bed. It kept buzzing with new messages from Emma and Mom. I didn't look at them. Instead I looked up at the white ceiling. My mind went back in time. I thought about how I ended up in this place. Not just in this apartment, but in a life where my family thought I was something they could throw away. 4 years ago I had my own business. I made jewelry and sold it online and at craft fairs. It was called Silver Dream Studio. I wasn't rich but I made enough money to be happy. People would order special necklaces for weddings. They'd ask for bracelets with their kids' names. I'd stay up late working with my tools making each piece perfect. My fingers would hurt from the work but I loved it. I built that business from nothing. I saved money for 3 years to buy all my equipment. Then one day Mom called me. She was crying. Her voice sounded scared. Their car was broken and they couldn't afford to fix it. Dad had lost his job at the warehouse. They couldn't pay their rent. The landlord said they had to leave in 2 months. They were going to lose their home. I didn't think twice. I sold my business and all my equipment for $90,000. It was enough to pay their rent for a whole year and fix their car and buy food. I moved into their extra bedroom. I thought I would stay for a few months, just until Dad found a new job. But months turned into years. For whole years. Paid for everything. The rent was $1,200 every month. Paid for food. Paid for gas. I paid for the internet and phone bills. Almost $2,000 every single month came from my bank account. I got a job at a small jewelry store fixing broken necklaces and rings. I made half the money I used to make. All of it went to keeping my family safe and fed. Dad would say thank you sometimes. Mom would hug me. But Emma acted like I was a stranger who didn't belong. Emma, my baby sister. When we were little, she followed me everywhere. Her hair was always in 2 braids. She'd ask me to help her make friendship bracelets. "You're the best, Sarah," she'd say with a big smile. We'd sneak cookies from the kitchen at night. We'd stay up late talking about everything. I taught her how to ride a bike. I helped her with her homework. When she wanted to go to parties in high school, I'd cover for her so she wouldn't get in trouble. She was my best friend, my little shadow. But when I moved back home, Emma was different. That sweet little girl was gone. She'd roll her eyes when I walked into the kitchen. She'd make mean comments under her breath. One time she yelled at me for leaving a spoon on the counter. "You don't even live here," she said. I thought maybe she was just stressed. Her job at the clothing store didn't pay much. She was always trying to make extra money doing things online. But her mean words kept coming. Each one hurt more than the last. I tried to stay away from her. I'd wake up very early before anyone else. I'd leave the house and go to the coffee shop to read. I'd walk around the park for hours to give them space. I ate dinner in my room most nights. I'd look at old photos of my jewelry business on my phone. I missed making beautiful things with my hands. Dad and Mom didn't see how Emma treated me. Dad spent all his time watching TV or fixing things in the garage. He'd help neighbors fix their bikes to make a little extra money. Mom was busy with her book club. She'd talk on the phone with Mrs. Kim about cooking and gardening. They needed my money, but they never asked how I was feeling. I didn't blame them. They were older now. Their savings were gone. But Emma's coldness hurt the most. She'd play loud music when I tried to talk to her. She'd leave notes around the house about chores I forgot to do. Last month she told Mom, loud enough for me to hear, that I was taking advantage of them. Like I wasn't the one paying for everything. Like I wasn't the reason they had a roof over their heads. Lying in my apartment that morning, I realized something. I had been blind. I gave up my business. I gave up my dreams. I gave up my money. All to keep them okay. And for what? For Emma to call me a burden. For Dad to smile like nothing happened. For Mom to say nothing at all. I remembered Emma as a little girl, giggling and holding my hand. That memory felt like it wasn't even real. Maybe she was never that sweet girl. Maybe I just wanted to believe she was. My savings account was almost empty. My job at the jewelry store barely paid enough for me. But I was still giving them $2,000 every month. I sat up in bed. My chest felt tight. I grabbed my laptop from the desk. I needed to see exactly how much I was paying for them. That's when the idea started growing in my mind. Not revenge. Not yet. Just truth. I left my apartment around lunchtime. My bag was in the back of my car as I drove to my friend Marcus and Jenny's house. They had been my friends since high school. They always made me feel better when I was sad. They'd invite me over for coffee or just to talk. Their house was in the Greenwood neighborhood. It was small but cozy. Felt like a place where I could finally think clearly. As I parked in front of their house, my phone kept buzzing. More texts I refused to read. Marcus opened the door right away. His face looked worried. "Sarah, are you okay?" he asked. He pulled me inside quickly. Jenny was in the living room. She already had tea ready on the table. I sat down on their soft couch. Everything from the last day crashed over me like a wave. I told them the whole story. About the birthday party. About the necklace I made. About Emma's words and how she said they didn't need me. About Dad just sitting there drinking his juice and smiling. About Mom looking away like she didn't hear anything. She said I was a burden, I told Marcus. My voice stayed calm but my throat hurt. And nobody stopped her. Not one person. Jenny reached over and held my hand tight. Marcus leaned back in his chair. His jaw was tight like he was angry for me. "You know what?" he said slowly. "This reminds me of my Uncle Robert." Uncle Robert was someone Marcus told stories about sometimes. A man who had helped his family years ago. Marcus told me Robert's son had lived in a house Robert paid for. The son never paid rent. Never paid bills. Robert paid for everything. His car. His phone. his electricity, everything. One day the son told Robert to stop coming around. He said Robert was annoying and holding him back. Even though Robert was paying for his whole life. Robert didn't argue or fight. He just stopped. He canceled the electricity. He canceled the phone. He stopped paying the rent. Within 2 months, the son was begging Robert to help again, promising he'd be better and more grateful. Robert never went back, Marcus said quietly. He moved to a different city and started fresh. His son had to learn to take care of himself. Sometimes people need to feel how hard life is before they appreciate what you did for them. Jenny nodded and poured more tea. You've been taking care of your family for 4 years, Sarah, she said. What would they even do without your money? That question hit me hard. I'd never thought about it that way. I always thought I was just helping. Just being a good daughter and sister. But sitting there with Marcus and Jenny looking at me like I deserved better, I understood the truth. Emma, Dad, and Mom had built their entire life around my sacrifice. And they couldn't even see me. I opened my laptop. My fingers moved fast before I could change my mind. I logged into my bank account. The screen showed all my automatic payments. Rent $1,200. Groceries $400. Car insurance $200. Internet $80. Phone bills for all 3 of them $150. Random stuff, streaming services, little repairs. Almost $2,000 every single month coming out of my account. Marcus gave a small nod like he knew what I was going to do. Jenny stayed quiet but her face looked calm and strong. I clicked on the payment settings. My heart was beating fast but my hands didn't shake. Rent canceled. Groceries canceled. Car insurance gone. Internet deleted. Phone bills stopped. One by one I cut every single payment. Each click felt like putting down something heavy I'd been carrying for too long. I wasn't angry anymore. At least I didn't feel angry. Felt clear. Clearer than I'd felt in years. They said they wanted to live without me. So I was giving them exactly what they asked for. Closed the laptop. Marcus put his hand on my shoulder. You did what you had to do, he said. Jenny offered me their guest room. She said I could stay as long as I needed. Thanked them. My voice was quiet but I felt sure about my choice. My phone buzzed again. Another message. Probably Emma or Mom. I didn't look. Not yet. I wasn't ready to hear excuses or apologies. I needed to hold on to this feeling of being clear and strong. Because I knew what was coming next. They were about to feel what it's like to pay for everything themselves. And this time I would be ready. 3 days after I stopped all the payments, things started to fall apart for them. I was at Marcus and Jenny's house. I was drinking coffee in their kitchen. My phone rang. Emma's name showed up on the screen like a warning. I let it ring 2 times before I answered. Sarah, what did you do? Her voice sounded sharp and scared. The internet stopped working. I can't do my online job. And Mom is freaking out because we got letters saying they're going to shut off the lights and water. Turn everything back on right now. No hello. No sorry. Just orders. Like I was still their helper who had to do what they said. I leaned back in my chair. Kept my voice steady. You said you wanted to live without me, I said. So this is what that looks like. Emma didn't wait even a second. You're being dramatic, Sarah. Just turn it all back on and stop acting like this. I wasn't surprised. She always knew how to twist things to make me feel like I was the problem. I could hear Mom in the background. Her voice sounded shaky. She was probably worried about the food in the refrigerator going bad. It's not my job to pay for your life anymore, I told Emma. You're 32 years old. You can figure it out yourself. There was a pause. Then Emma laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. It was mean. You're so sensitive, she said. This is exactly why nobody wants you around. Then she hung up. Put the phone down. My hands didn't shake but my chest felt tight. Jenny looked at me from across the room. She raised her eyebrows. She's got a lot of nerve, Jenny said. Marcus folded his newspaper and laughed a little. Give it a few more days. They'll really feel it then. I nodded but something inside me twisted a little. Mom's voice in the background, scared and worried, stayed in my mind. She hadn't stood up for me at the party. She hadn't said a word when Emma called me a burden. But she was still my mom. Was I punishing her too? I pushed that thought away. They let Emma speak for everyone. That was their choice, not mine. Later that day, Mom called. Her voice was soft and begging. "Sarah, honey, please. Everything is a mess. Emma can't work without internet. Your dad can't get his repair jobs because nobody can call him. Can't you just turn everything back on? We're family." Closed my eyes. I pictured her sitting in the living room with her knitting, probably twisting her hands the way she does when she's nervous. "Mom," I said. My voice was steady but not cold. "Emma said you'd all be better off without me. You didn't say she was wrong. So I'm giving you what you wanted." There was a long silence. Then Mom whispered, "She didn't really mean it. You know how she gets. Please just come home." I didn't answer right away. I thought about all the months I spent in that house, walking quietly, paying every bill, listening to Emma's insults, hoping someone would just say thank you. "I'm not coming back," I said. "Not until Emma admits what she did was wrong." Mom tried to interrupt, but I stopped her. "You let her say it, Mom. You and Dad just sat there. You're all responsible for what happened." Then I hung up. My heart was racing, but I felt clear inside. Jenny had heard the whole conversation. She nodded. "You're braver than I could ever be," she said. I didn't feel brave. I just felt tired but focused. That night, Emma called again. She sounded even angrier this time. "You think this is a game, Sarah? The neighbors are starting to talk. Mrs. Kim came over acting all worried, but I know she just wants gossip. You're making us look bad." I almost laughed. Making them look bad. After everything. That's what mattered to her now. "You made yourself look bad," I said. "You wanted me gone. Now I'm gone. Pay your own bills." She exploded. She called me selfish. She said I was always jealous of her. I didn't listen to the rest. I ended the call and blocked her number. Marcus walked in just as I put the phone down. He gave me a thumbs up. "It's about time," he said. The next morning, Mom left a voicemail. Her voice was quieter, almost desperate. "Sarah, we can't do this without you. The water bill is due tomorrow. Emma is trying to borrow money from Mrs. Kim. Please just talk to us." I didn't call her back. I wasn't ready for more excuses. More begging that didn't change the real problem. Emma had said those words at the party and Mom and Dad let her. Now they were scrambling to fix things. And I wasn't going to swoop in and save them. Not this time. I stayed with Marcus and Jenny. I helped Jenny cook dinner. I talked with Marcus about his new coffee shop business. Their home felt like a safe place. A place where I wasn't invisible. But I knew this wasn't over. Emma wouldn't give up. Mom's calls would keep coming. I prepared myself for whatever came next. Deep down, I knew I'd made the right choice. No matter how heavy it felt in my heart. 2 weeks after everything stopped, their world started crumbling. I was still staying at Marcus and Jenny's. I was getting comfortable in their extra bedroom. Then I got a text from Mrs. Kim, the neighbor who lived next to my parents. "Is everything okay with your folks?" she wrote. "I've been hearing things." I didn't text back, but I knew what she meant. Seattle is a big city, but neighborhoods are small. People talk. And my family was becoming the talk of the block. I'd blocked Emma's number, but Mom's voicemails kept coming. Each one sounded more panicked than the last. I listened to the newest one. Her voice was thin and strained. "Sarah, we got a letter from the landlord," Mom said. "We're late on rent. They might kick us out. Please call me back." I deleted the message, but her words stayed in my head. The landlord's letter wasn't a surprise. Without my money every month, the rent, bills, and everything else were piling up. Emma had always depended on me to keep things running. Her clothing store job barely paid for her own stuff. Now, without internet for her online work, she was sinking fast. Marcus caught me staring at my phone. He raised an eyebrow. "You're not going to give in, are you?" he asked. He was half joking. I shook my head. They need to learn, I said. But my voice wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. Jenny was cutting vegetables for dinner. She glanced over at me. They'll figure it out, she said. Or they won't. Either way, it's not your problem anymore. The next day, I drove past the old neighborhood. I wasn't going to visit. I just needed to pick up some mail I'd had sent to a store nearby. As I turned onto their street, I saw Mr. and Mrs. Lee from across the street. They were standing on their lawn whispering to each other. They stopped talking when they saw my car. Mrs. Lee waved, but it looked awkward. I didn't wave back. Mrs. Kim was outside too. She was watering her flowers, but her eyes kept looking at my parents' apartment. The grass outside was too long. The mailbox was overflowing with envelopes. Probably bills. I kept driving, but that image stayed in my mind. Their life was falling apart and everyone could see it. Later that week I learned from Jenny, who heard it from a friend, that Emma had lost a big opportunity. Without internet, she couldn't finish a project for a company that wanted to hire her. They were going to pay her good money, but she couldn't send them her work. They gave the job to someone else. Emma was desperate. She'd gotten a night job at a grocery store putting food on shelves. I imagined her under bright white lights, pushing a cart full of boxes. Her pride broken. Part of me felt bad. She was still my sister. But then I remembered what she said at that birthday party. Sharp words. No apology. She chose this path, not me. Mom showed up at Marcus and Jenny's house one evening without warning. Her face looked tired. The usual happiness she had was gone. I was in the living room helping Jenny look through old photo books when the doorbell rang. Marcus let Mom in. She stood in the doorway holding her purse tight like it was protecting her. "Sarah, we need to talk," she said. Her voice was low but urgent. I stayed sitting on the couch. I pointed to the chair. "Sit down, Mom," I said. My tone was neutral. She hesitated. Then she sat on the edge of the chair. Her eyes moved around the room like she was scared to stay still. "The landlord is going to kick us out," she said. The words came out fast. "Emma's working nights, but it's not enough money. Your dad is trying to get more repair jobs, but without a working phone, nobody can reach him. We're falling apart, Sarah." Her hands twisted the strap of her purse. For a moment, I saw the woman who taught me how to plant flowers in the garden. Not the woman who sat silent while Emma tore me down. "I'm sorry things are hard," I said. I chose my words carefully. "But Emma said you didn't need me. She needs to fix this." Mom's eyes got wide. "She's your sister," Mom begged. "She's trying her best, but it's hard. Can't you help just until we get back on track?" I leaned forward. My voice stayed steady. "Mom, I paid for everything for 4 years. Rent, food, bills, everything. Emma called me a burden and you let her. I'm done carrying her mistakes." Mom's face crumpled like she was going to cry. But she didn't argue. "Your dad doesn't know what to do," she said softly. "He's staying out of it, but he's worried sick." I wasn't surprised. Dad had always stayed on the sidelines, watching TV in his chair while the family fell apart. "Then he can talk to Emma," I said. "She's the one who started all this." Mom stood up. Her shoulders dropped. "I thought family meant more to you," she said. Then she left without saying another word. Jenny had been quiet the whole time. She squeezed my arm after Mom left. "You did the right thing," she said. I nodded, but Mom's last words stayed with me. The neighborhood gossip got louder and louder. Mrs. Kim told another neighbor who told another that my family's apartment was falling apart. Mr. Lee mentioned Dad's unpaid repair bills at a community meeting. Emma's grocery store job became a joke among the neighbors. People whispered about how she used to act like she was better than everyone. I stayed away. I focused on my job at the jewelry store. I saved the little bit of money I had left. But I knew the pressure was building on them. My family was running out of time. And I wasn't going to save them. Not now. Not ever. 3 months after I walked away, the apartment that held all my childhood memories was gone. Emma, Dad, and Mom got kicked out. They couldn't keep up with rent or bills. Mrs. Kim, who never missed a chance to spread news, sent me a picture. Showed their stuff in boxes on the sidewalk. I didn't respond. But I heard through Jenny that they'd moved into a tiny studio apartment on the other side of Seattle. Just one room for all three of them. Far from the neighborhood they'd known for so many years. The Lees and other neighbors told everyone they saw what happened to my family. Their whispers spread through every block party and every coffee shop. Emma faced their stares every single day. Her head down. Her dreams of being successful buried under reality. I didn't go see them. Made my choice. And I was building something new. With the money I had left, I bought a small studio apartment in Capitol Hill. It was quiet. Near a park where I could walk and clear my head. The walls were empty at first. But I started filling them with drawings of jewelry designs. Rings. Necklaces. Earrings. Reminders of the business I used to have. I got a job teaching jewelry making classes at a community center. I helped people make their first bracelets and necklaces. It wasn't Silver Dream Studio, but it felt like I was finding myself again. Every paycheck went into my own bank account. Not someone else's rent. Not someone else's food. For the first time in 4 years, I slept without feeling crushed by their needs. One morning I was drinking coffee at my small kitchen table. A letter came in the mail. I recognized the handwriting right away. Emma's neat, careful letters. Like when she used to write me thank you notes as a kid. I stared at it for a long time without opening it. Part of me wanted to read it. To see if she finally understood. But another part of me, the part that remembered her cruel words and angry eyes, knew it wouldn't matter. When I finally opened it, her words were softer than I expected. Sarah, it started. I'm sorry for what I said. I was stressed and angry, but that's not an excuse. I didn't realize how much you did for us. I hope we can talk someday. There was nothing from Dad or Mom. No promise to make things right. Just a small plea. Too late. Too little. I folded the letter and put it in a drawer with old photos I hadn't looked at in months. I didn't write back. Emma had wanted a life without me. I was giving it to her. Not because I wanted revenge. But because I deserved a life where I wasn't treated like I was invisible. Dad's silence. Mom's begging. Emma's cruelty. They showed me exactly who they were. And I wasn't going back. I blocked all their numbers. I deleted all their voicemails. I let the distance between us grow bigger and bigger. Marcus and Jenny checked on me all the time. They'd bring pizza or invite me to their backyard barbecues. But I was learning how to be okay by myself. And it felt right. Looking back now, I can see the lesson carved into every part of this mess. Family isn't just about being related by blood. It's about respect. It's about supporting each other. It's about seeing when someone is sacrificing everything for you. I gave up everything to keep their world from falling apart. But they took it for granted. And that broke us. Emma, Dad, and Mom learned the hard way that words hurt. And choices have consequences. They're rebuilding their lives now in their own way. And I don't wish bad things for them. But I'm done carrying their weight. I've learned that taking care of yourself is the most important thing. Without that, love is just an empty word that means nothing. To everyone who watched this whole story until the end, thank you so much. Your time and attention mean everything to me. I shared this story because I know some of you have felt invisible, unappreciated by the people you do anything for. You've carried their problems only to be pushed away. See you. And I'm grateful you spent this time with me. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell. Join our community here at Women's Revenge. Share your story in the comments below. How did you find your strength when things got hard? Let's keep talking to each other. Let's support each other. Because together, we're stronger than we could ever be alone. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be valued. Never forget that.